From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at what's now known as Paycor Stadium here in Cincinnati. Today, Week 12 of the NFL season is upon us, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Here comes Jalen Waddle from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Now Cousins. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. Well, this defense for the Bengals, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
He needed a yard, that's exactly what he got. Earns him a new set of downs. Cousins. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. You look at this Steeler defense. They were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
No matter what coverage was called, they were in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. I mean, they were running the routes with them. Turned out, they were right there on every single ball thrown and came away with 5 interceptions.
12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
At the Steelers' 25-yard line.
On play action, now Rodgers. And he's got Smith and Jigba. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal.
Jackson Smith and Jigba. First and goal at the 7-yard line.
Now Rodgers. Swinging this side wide here for Cook. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
At the 7-yard line.
Back to the ground, Cook. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Escaping the pressure right. To the goal line.
because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
The kick by Carlson is good, and the Bengals are on the first here. It's 3-0. So a pretty good opening drive that'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Throwing, Cousins. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
For a team who came in here on a healthy winning streak, we're seeing some uncharacteristically bad play thus far. And that streak is definitely in jeopardy if this offense keeps giving the ball away and can't mount a few drives of their own.
Well, fake on the jet sweep as they run with Cook up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Now it's Rodgers. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
A 44-yard attempt.
The kick by Carlson is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. And that flag accepted. Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down. To throw, it's Rodgers. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Noah Fant, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they're able to add on to their advantage.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. Waddle going to bring this out of the end zone now. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months, not weeks, months.
I think the challenge they put upon themselves is we want to be the guys to end that streak. And what's working in their favor the winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a...
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Cousins now. It's Barkley once again bringing in the catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 46. Cousins to throw it. Open man is Yoshibas. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 20 on the year.
And the Steelers are back within a score. Moody good with the extra point.
And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7.
So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. Well, in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Out quickly here to Smith and Jigba.
And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 30. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he will take it out in for a Bengals touchdown.
Dalvin Cook with now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Bengals add 6 to their lead. Well, we've said it many times. He is always a threat to go the distance anytime he's got the ball in his hands. And on this occasion, he did just that.
Well, he's definitely the guy that makes this offense go. And when you're a RB1 running back one, you've got to be willing to be patient at times as well. Not every run's going to be the home run we saw there. But once you get that opportunity and that opening, you take full advantage.
Waddle will return this from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time. Now, Charles, remember they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards. Now Cousins.
That's Waddle. He's got the catch on the out route.
Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 42-yard line.
Running left, it's Barkley. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a fourth down.
And the third interception thrown by Cousins. And the Bengals will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
Oh, this is a great play right here by a very versatile linebacker. It's a zone defense, so he's responsible for one area of the field. And Brandon, I don't think the quarterback ever saw it. Or if he did, he saw him too late because he snuck into a great position there and picked that one off.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 84 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
And with that run, he's already at 100 yards here before halftime. So if he sees the same kind of action in the second half, he could be on his way to a career game.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown. Jackson Smith-Njigba. 26 yards. And the Bengals are able to stretch out their lead.
Partner, remember that old film of Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well, they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Waddle going to bring this out of the end zone now. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter. But you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
They'll set up the screen to Barkley, and he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On first and 10, Cousins. This will be caught. It's Waddle. Down to the 10. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jalen Waddle, 68 yards. And the Steelers get a bit closer. Moody good with the extra point. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Rodgers going to try and throw on third down. These guys running back out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The Bengals on a roll now. It's another first down.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. He gets it to Johnston. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number one. So from the 36 now, first and 10. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
110 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. Throwing now is Rodgers. He'll dump this off to Cook. And out of bounds right around the 20. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Look at this, tight end on the corner, is complete. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. They'll run with Cook. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Flush to his right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Carlson able to put this one through. So the long run gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And he returns this to the 22.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. 1 second, all that remains. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Steelers 14.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
And he's got a Bengals first down as the tackle made at the 35-yard line.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now they'll run on the draw. And he's got room. Taking it right down Broadway. Dalvin Cook. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Dalvin Cook with career touchdown number 70. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Waddle will return this from the end zone. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Jalen Waddle. He's inside the 20. And he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Steelers. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Well, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that. Charles' defense, they were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he's got a Bengals first down as he's got this up to the 35-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. Smith and Jigba with the grab. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Throwing is Rodgers. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
At the Steelers' 44-yard line.
To throw is Rodgers. He's going to find his tight end. That's Hunter Long. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Now Rodgers. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 22-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another 1st.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuck that one behind the line of scrimmage.
205 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Rodgers going to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead. And they're able to do just that.
And it gets him past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
Waddle going to bring this out of the end zone now. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it.
There's a quarterback who's learned his lesson. He's thrown a few interceptions so far. That time he said, I'm making sure nobody catches this one.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Anthony Harris. Inside the 10. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for the Bengals TD. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as comfortable as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Waddle will return this from the end zone. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Cousins. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Throwing is Cousins. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Sauce Gardner picks it off, and the Bengals are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. Cook following the penalty. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll get this pretty close to a 1st down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 37. Man, 216 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
And he is going to have the Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Third down, Dalvin Cook, and he is going to lose yardage here. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Out is Carlson now for the Raider field goal. From the left hash, this from 39. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further. We're ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And after all those wins that they've reeled off, it seems that they finally have met their match in a big 4th quarter hole. But still, what a run it's been. It feels like they have not lost it forever. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 47. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And now they're in the hurry-up.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and
On play action, Cousins. Open man is Waddle complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That'll put him at 96 yards receiving now for the game, and he's got a 1st down as well. the draw. This is Barkley. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? To Barkley on the check down. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Saquon Barkley. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Steelers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Give him 4 yards on the play, and that will lead us into the 2-minute warning. They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6. They run the counter with Cook. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? He's
got a man, complete. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. DK Metcalf, 28 yards. And the Steelers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. It's caught at the 1, and they are 3 for 3 on 2-point conversions as he is into the end zone for the score. So time definitely not in their favor, down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the Bengals hands team. And they're going to hang on and win this game. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance